So what's going on here is that Elle and I have what are called author notes, and this is something I set up back in the Criterion Gambit, and she implemented as well.
I'm Elle, by the way. This is Michael. And this is Mikey.
Whatever. So the situation occurred that we have, upon occasion, differences of opinion, and Elle started saying some stuff about proper English, and I said shit back to her. And then we started mentioning it into the author notes, and now it's become this much bigger thing. So what we tried to do, or what Elle decided to do, is she thought it would be really cool if we actually recorded some of these things and started sharing them with our fans that are out there. So some of the interactions that goes on, and it's kind of like author notes, English or British versus American. So one of the items that you said this, right? Or who found this?
And also, who do you? Oh, no, because there was a series of stuff. Like, because I sent you a bunch of squirrels. So I think there was one. Okay, hang on. There was one. Okay, yeah, this is what we actually mean, and I read through it, and I was like, yeah, this is totally accurate. You should be aware of this at least.
Which is to say that in general, at least I would say the American conception or perception of the British is that they're very straight-laced and very proper, and there's a lot of things. And what I'm finding out is that's a total load of bullshit. So
right.
They just hide it behind a really exquisite speech pattern.
Right, which means, and like it's difficult. It's weird, kind of coming out of it and seeing it as you would see
coming
it.
Out, yes.
And coming out, coming out of the closet.
Oh yes, that's soft.
I can't even remember what that was in conjunction with yesterday. But oh my god, I saw AirPod guy again at WeWork. Do you remember I said about, okay, so most Americans think that I'm just this ditzy kind of British girl. And I think they get away with it because of the accent, because otherwise they'd be like, okay, can someone call like these Section 6 people to come and pick her up? But yeah, it was that you just got your AirPods and you were having problems with them. And like I stepped out the lift at WeWork and noticed that the guy that I'd been standing next to was wearing these AirPods. And I was like, oh, do they work? And he's like, I've just got them. Ask me again another time. So anyway, when I came out of the booth last night after we'd been talking, he was walking past and I'm like, oh, you're AirPod guy. He's like, yes, I am. And he takes one of the AirPods out and we have a conversation. I'm like, how are you finding them? He hadn't had any problems. So like, I think you've got a dodgy pair or whatever. So,
a dodgy pair. Okay. Yeah. I'll have to deal with that damn dodgy pair.
All
right, Apple, if anyone over there, you have a dodgy pair, I happen to have them. I bought them
because everyone else seems to work. So
yeah.
Where was I going with this?
Hell if I know. Whoever knows.
It was something to do with our conversation yesterday. Okay, yeah, but anyway, there is stuff that where I say something. Oh, like so we say stuff in English, and you know we're trying to kind of couch it in whatever. We try and couch it in terms so that it's not offensive, and like it just falls on deaf ears almost when we say it to Americans. So,
are you saying that? So assumption is that how many years and centuries and yada, 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 have you guys all been sitting around the fires near each other and you've had to get to a certain point where you either be polite or go ahead and take a stick and beat the shit out of each other? Like
yes. So we don't go for the Jerry Springer option. We go to the let's be polite. Kind of like the Canadians do, except the Canadians are like seriously polite and seriously nice. And then you meet an evil Canadian and they let you in on the secret that, no, it's true. I met one once. She was half American. And she explained that, no, she's cool. She's one of my friends.
Was she evil because of the half American part, or was she just evil?
No, unrelated. Well, I think unrelated. But anyway, she said that sometimes, like when Canadians are being nice, that it's kind of like the smiling dagger. So they're being nice, and you think that they're being nice, but in the back of their heads, they're kind of saying, "Oh, you evil person! I hope that you die of syphilis or whatever." So
wow, that's
it's a thing. And so she said, like, be aware. It's like a certain kind of passive aggressive kind of thing that you may end up doing.
Passive aggressive.
No. As opposed to aggressive.
Yes, as opposed to that. So that would be a reference to one of the author notes where Elle was talking about something and she's like, you know, passive aggressive. I'm like, you're never passive aggressive. If anything, you're aggressive aggressive. Kind of like you're passive aggressive, like a sniper is passive, and then they shoot your ass. That's your version of passive aggressive. So there isn't any passive aspect of it at all.
I'm letting my counsel deal with this.
Your counsel is mute. Has no conversation skills whatsoever at the moment. So,
Mikey.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're on audio, she has a mane, has one eye. So it's like, 2 feet tall or something? I don't know.
He's the same size as R2-D2.
Yet
I don't know whether I almost shared that picture on the Facebook page.
So
do you recommend that I don't?
Hey, if you want to go ahead and facilitate showing your proclivities of how you dress up your dolls, that's quite right with me. You are welcome to do it.
Okay.
So where we got with all of this was we decided that these 30 sayings for British were, as she was going down the list and laughing uproariously at quite a few of them, she's like, these are so right. So in effort to see whether or not we could actually have a conversation on video that anyone would find funny but us. And
this is a test. Sorry, I'm just reading number 1.
Oh God, we're never going to get through these. Okay, so the idea here is that you're going to say what it is because you have a British accent, and I will actually explain what the definition is because I speak English 2.0.
So hang on, I've got it. Okay, right. So I don't give the translation. You get the translation.
I do the translation because that's relevant.
Okay.
And you get to explain it in like someone who's British would actually say it.
Right. Okay. Right. I had a question, but it doesn't matter. Oh, no, I had a comment. I had a comment.
And this is how
I realized
you get done. Go on.
No, I've figured out why it is you sound so different when you're being serious. And it's because you deliberately use your natural accent rather than trying to copy mine and like it kind of coming out as this weird. So
wait, what?
Yeah. So do you remember when we were in Austin and you were talking like right?
No, yeah. What I said back then is, for those that don't know, I was born and raised in Houston, Texas, and then a lot of people were surprised to hear that because they would say you have no accent. And I would say that typically that was the reason, or at least the reason I believe is, I talked like those on television talked, or I tend to copy the accent of those around me. It just is something that happens. I don't really think about it. And so one time we were having some meeting aspect of the books that we put out together, and you were saying, are you trying to copy my accent? And I'm like, no. It's just, so there's the story behind it.
But I spent the entire time thinking that you were taking the piss out of me.
Which is yet another phrase that is completely awkward here in America compared to English 1.0. The King's
right. Shall I explain that or not?
Which one? English 1.0?
Taking the piss out of.
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, because it might come up again.
It's probably one of these 30 sayings. If not, it's 31.
Okay. Do you want to leave it and then circle back?
No, go ahead.
Remember?
No, we won't remember.
We won't remember. Squirrel. So taking the piss means taking the mickey out of someone. Which
yet is another word we don't understand.
Okay.
Taking the mickey.
Taking the shit. Or what is it? Giving shit. Or taking, no. Yeah, giving, you talk about giving shit. And I think it's the closest approximation.
Are you giving me shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Are you making fun of me is how
that's it. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Are you making, so that's it. And then there's an extension to that, that they use in the Air Force that is, you've got to be able to take the piss and give it. So you've got to allow people to be able to take
USAF.
the piss out of you. No, RAF.
RAF.
Royal Air Force.
Just clarifying which Air Force is saying this.
Yeah. Royal
That's a
Air
lot of
Force.
piss going back and forth. Just saying.
Yes.
Yes.
It's part of the culture.
Make it? Huh?
It's part of the culture.
Okay.
And like British humor is based a lot on that. It's
Which
all
I
that
love.
kind of pull downs and.
Yeah. So Red Dwarf, right up my alley, enjoyed that part of it. Yes. Quite a few of those. We'll announce your weird British proclivities later. You know, the shows that you love. Yeah, Doctor. Yeah, so much for later. All right, let's see if we can get to number 1 on the list. Number effing 1. 30 things British people say and what they actually mean, or what you actually mean. So take it away.
I might join you later.
All right, this means I'm not leaving the house today unless it's on fire.
And it's true.
And why is it true?
Well, because like British people can't say no. Well, not like that, you know, but like they have difficulty kind of disappointing people. And like you kind of want to leave the door open just in case you change your mind. And, you know, so it's a nice way of kind of saying no. Whereas moms don't normally, which we say mum in British.
For mom? Or
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They say maybe or let me think about it. And that means no.
Okay. So if you ask your mom and she says maybe or let me think about it, you're screwed.
Yes.
Okay. Just clarifying that. All right. We made it through 1. Number 2. Oh, we didn't make it very far.
Okay.
This is yeah,
go on. What?
We're not going to get very far because you have to speak the British part.
No, I'll get there. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get my shit together any second now. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry. Is anyone sitting here?
Translation: you have 3 seconds to move your bag before I end you. Which I'm looking at this one. What the fuck is bag? Ass?
Bag. Okay, so maybe this isn't true for guys, but when women go out, they have handbags and stuff. And like a way of ensuring that you have space, like if you sit in a cafe or whatever, like any communal space, like a bus, is that you put your bag on the seat next to you with a coat, because we have coats. Because unlike California, you don't have coats or outdoor jackets because you don't need them.
They will if you ever actually leave your room here in the next couple of months.
Really?
It will. It can go from 90 in the day to 50 at night.
Do you know when I first got here, I was wearing ski pants during the day because I was so cold. Yeah,
and it'll happen again. You just happen to be in the 2 horrible months.
I know, but you just forget though, don't you?
I don't know.
But one forgets.
One forgets. Okay, so that's what bag is, which isn't anything.
It's a bag. You know what a bag is?
Yes, but that's not how I interpreted it whenever I read it.
Michael, will you hold my bag for me? Hell no, I'm not holding your purse.
Minion.
Purse, that's what it is.
Yes, no. Homie doesn't do purses. So, okay. Wow. So if they won't move their purse, they will end you.
Well, I've never actually seen anyone not do it, so I don't know what actually happens. But like, there's an implication there that like the dumb thing to do was to move your fucking bag.
Ah, okay. I get it. Good to know.
Right. I don't know what happens if one were to like not know the rules or just disregard the rules, because British people know the social norms and they know how to behave generally.
Yes, except that's soccer matches.
Except what?
At soccer matches.
Oh, don't get me started on that. That's a whole nother thing. But no, it's bizarre. Like even Londoners, like on the night bus, you might have some thugs who are kind of like totally drunk or youths and stuff, but even they would know to move their bag. Excellent. Yeah. We move on. Number 3. Not to worry. Translation: I will never forget this. Yup. Number 4, saying so. What? You don't have anything to add to that. Just it is what it is. Yes. Okay, number 4, there's no British sorry, but you apparently say sorry as a way of introducing yourself. Instead of hello, sorry. Uh-huh. Sorry. Or as a way of getting someone's attention, or as anything. Anything, just so. Anything. And even if you went wrong, you say sorry. The quality of the word sorry is completely just not there. It's just a word. Sorry. No, it's very meaningful. We are apologizing for having not already introduced ourselves. Yeah. It's a thing. Well, I don't know. I speak for myself, but I feel genuinely sorry when I say sorry, even if it's for something that I didn't do. So we have a whole, and I'm actually, I point some of these out, okay, in order to see whether or not we can continue this conversation. Hang on. I was going to drink coffee, but don't carry on.
Oh, no. Oh, that would be so funny if I could actually make you some coffee. That would be, my day would be complete. All right. So we go, oh boy.
No, you were going to say something. Go.
I don't even remember.
Oh, no. I hate it when you do that. Can I drink some coffee?
Yes. Fine. Go ahead and drink some coffee, but hurry up and do it before
Don't
I go.
say-
Number 5 says.
No, wait.
But really, drink your damn coffee. You're holding us up. Slurp. I almost.
I swear no one's going to find this funny.
Okay, I found it hilarious. I guess I can see you like stick your hand over your mouth and trying not to spit all over your screen. That was excellent.
I'm more worried about my keyboard. I think the screen could be wiped down. Although I tried to wipe it the other day and I forgot that it was touch screen and it fucked everything up. It's like, shit, my seed, it's gone. Damn it.
All right, so number 5, can you get this out?
Oh, sorry, that's me. Hang on. Oh. No, because this, okay, so I know you said that this was R-rated, but this could be like triple R-rated or X-rated or something. But I'm going to refrain just because it might not be appropriate. But we do say this, oh, it's a bit wet out there.
And which translation is, you're going to need a snorkel because it's absolutely pissing it down.
Okay, now there's that word again, piss. So can you use piss as in like pissing it down, like rain?
We wouldn't normally do that, no. But I mean, at least I kind of got the idea behind it when it says, you're going to need a snorkel. So I'm, able to put the words together and figure out it's raining really, really hard.
Okay. Good.
A bit wet out there.
Pardon?
It's a bit wet out there.
It's a bit wet out there.
All right, number 6.
Ending an email with thanks as a warning that you're perilously close to losing your temper.
So we have a whole country of everyone constraining your anger in. Is that,
No. Oh, maybe. I don't know. So I get it from the point of view, like when someone sends me an email and it says thanks at the end, especially if it has a full stop, it's like that fucker. It's kind of like that.
So how many of us Americans who say, hey, thank you, and you're like, you bastard, you bitch.
No. It's an email specifically.
Uh-huh.
So like best regards is kind of like, well, okay, that's a bit informal, or cheers is when they're taking a piss at the English. 2 people I know do that because they know me, I think. You're one of them. Thanks is more like a kind of conclusion. It's like, get this done, else I'll fucking like.
All of that in the word thanks.
Yeah.
Wow. I really can inflate your meanings.
Or that, they're pissed off. And so it's like, thanks.
Okay. So I understand that one because you could certainly do that here in America. If someone does something, they don't open the door for you. Like you had a bunch of passages and you're like, thanks. Completely understand that. I think that one travels, but it's tone, inflection, and importance.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So I think I automatically have the gut reaction, someone's pissed with me if they're saying thanks at the bottom of an email. And then I have to rework it and go, no, 80% of everything that you say is going to be lost in translation.
Okay. I got that. Yes. Noah 7.
All right.
7.
Right then, I suppose I should start thinking about possibly making a move.
Translation, bye.
So it shocks me when I come here and people end a conversation and are like, okay, bye. And then they end the call. I'm like, what? Oh, okay.
Chop. Let's get a move on. We got things to do. Bye.
That is just bizarre.
Now, for me, the bizarre would be if they just hang up. I'd be like, what happened? Bad cell phone? Did I say something?
Yeah, no, but they do that on the movies. So I can kind of, yeah. It's like, okay, they're too cool. They're just in the movies.
No, actually, we say goodbye or bye. Just end, stop. We're good. We tend to move on to the next thing here, right? So.
Huh?
In America, we tend to like move on to the next thing, depending on what's going on, because there's a lot of times if you're having a more like bi could be for someone that's, you have no relationship. You're not expecting to have another relationship to them. It's the plumber. It's whoever. If it's a family member, if it's someone, a friend that you care to see again in 6 months, you might do something a little bit more what you're saying. It's like, you slowly get into it. But there are certainly some personality types. It doesn't matter who you are. You're their brother, you're their sister. Bye, click.
Okay. So in some instances, it could be an indication of where the relationship's at. Yes,
it could.
Okay. I'll remember that, motherfucker.
Sorry, Chuck. You're screwed.
Okay. It's fine.
Meaning, it really could not possibly get any worse, but no doubt it will.
Yeah. Except, there is this thing that, like, in England, like, we don't want to make it anyone else's problem, and we want to be polite about it. And
yeah, so in this case, you're just being polite. You're not trying to lay your issues on someone else's shoulder. You're not trying to seek them saying or making them feel like they need to be nice back to you or commiserate.
Yeah. Right. Because all of that is, stuff and things and fine and whatever, but like it doesn't need to happen. And I think the other part of it is, like, if you're not dying, like if you're not like, well, even if you were dying, as long as it's like not imminent, it's like, well, this person.
Good enough.
Huh?
Like tomorrow is, I'm dying. That's tomorrow, so I'll be polite today.
Yeah, you might mention that, but yeah, like unless there was something like really immediate, you just wouldn't put it on someone without having a reason to. So we lie all the time, though. You just go, oh yeah, everything's okay, everything's fine.
No, I get that.
Hello, how are you feeling today? How's your morning going? Like you're going to get in an Uber and go, actually, it's fucking shit. My collaborator just, screwed me over on a phone call and blah, blah, blah. You're not. You're just going to go, oh, it's great.
And then, yes. So in general, I think Americans do a lot of that as well. They will certainly lie. However, we do have a fair amount of personalities who will take that opportunity to dump everything off their chest. And you're like, fucking hell.
Wow.
So I don't know. Do British, do you have any of those personality types that'll just start unloading?
Okay, so there are personality types, but there are also cultural differences. So in the north of England, people are a lot more friendly and genuine and willing to talk. So like you could be standing in the street waiting for someone to come out of the supermarket or something, and you're left holding the dog, and like you'll talk to 3 or 4 strangers, just like randomly.
That's not happening in Los Angeles.
I remember once in the post office, I got talking to this little old dear because I was playing, what was that game that you had on the phone, like that the kids were playing? Pokemon. Right, so I was playing that in the post office, and she's like, oh, it's over there, go get it. And so, like, by the time we actually got served at the post office counter, like, I'd had a life story. So.
Which starts in Pokemon, stays in Pokemon.
My mum did kind of come in looking for me, and she said it was probably not a good idea to have been playing Pokemon standing in the post office queue. Laura, you're a grown-up now.
Polite way to say, grow the hell up.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. This one is number 9, and I lost it when I read this. But go ahead. You need to go ahead and say the translation as well, because I think I always read these in a British accent when I do this. So what is number 9?
What do your British accent?
No, God, no.
Now that people are watching for it. Okay, number 9. Perfect. Translation, well, that's ruined it. That then. Well, sorry. I can't even read. Well, that ruined then.
Yes. So the complete opposite of what it means. Perfect. Well, that's fucked up.
Yeah, but we're also like the masters of sarcasm, I understand.
Oh? Is that scientific?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that's why Friends resonated with us so much, because Chandler Bing was just the epitome of British sarcasm. So,
well done. But I loved it. Perfect. Well, that's that ruined then. We actually...
What?
Okay, so I'm Southern, generally speaking. I grew up in Texas for most of my life. And we actually have this saying, But I was rolling because you took it to just a completely end of the line situation. So I'm going to start it because this is, but we would say, hey, that's a bit of a pickle. Translation?
Oh, a catastrophically bad situation with potentially fatal consequences.
Which is, for me, my version of a bit of a pickle is like, we're in some trouble here. But I'm like, potentially fatal consequences. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, we're also the masters of understatement. But here's what you have to remember. If one British person said this to another, they would understand what it meant.
But I could just imagine two people standing, let's say at the railroad station. It's 9 o'clock at night. It's dark. The fog has rolled in. They hear something that, well, that's a bit of a pickle. And the other one looks over and goes, we're going to die, aren't we? Probably. Well, chip, chip, cheerio.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Well, wonderful.
Right. Well, I mean, it's not a bit of a pickle until you're in the tight spot. So, like, if you had someone coming at you with an axe and, you have no way of escape, that would be more like, then it would be more appropriate to say we're in a bit of a pickle because you're in a tight spot, right? Whereas when you're just kind of thinking that something's going to happen, it's like, it's not an issue yet.
I see. Kill that. All right. So we go to number
11.
Excellent.
Yeah. No.
See, this is going to take us forever.
Okay. No, we can speed it up. All right. Not too bad, actually.
Translation: I'm probably the happiest I've ever been. I love this because it means that whenever you say everything is great, you basically mean I don't want to tell you anything that's wrong. How are you doing? Not too bad means I'm great, but I don't really want to burden you with the fact that I'm happy.
Oh, right. I hadn't considered the burdenous part, but yeah, possibly. But I mean, when we say not too bad, we mean that's actually good. And so when you send me results and stuff and I go, oh, not bad, like that means not bad, but you mean that that's actually on the bad side of okay, whereas what you would have expected is like, that's a fucking good result.
Yes, I think I just understood that. So a few times whenever you said something, you've looked at it or read some of the notes, or God forbid I had written something that you're like, that's not bad. And I'm like, oh, wow. That's...
oh, yes.
Oh, man, I'm going to have to rewrite this shit. Yeah.
Like Bethany Ann's letter.
Yes, exactly. Not bad. I'm like, oh, man.
No, but I don't say it like that. Like for that particular one, I was like, oh, this is not bad. Oh, no, and then you accuse me of being like, why are you so surprised? Like, I don't think that I was acting surprised.
Yes.
So, anyway,
okay.
We have to allow for these things.
Apparently, things that I'm even learning as we go through this. So number 12.
Honestly, it doesn't matter.
Meaning nothing has ever mattered more than this. So,
yeah.
True?
Yes.
Just straightforward. Okay, 13.
You've caught the sun.
Translation: you look like you've been swimming in a volcano.
Oh my God.
I forgot about this one, but just the mental thing of someone swimming in a
I remembered I started laughing randomly. So I met an English guy at the WeWork space, and he chatted away like he hadn't been able to talk to anyone for like 30 years or something. He's only been here for like 5. And I saw him the other day, and he was looking like he'd caught the sun, like red. And I said, oh, you caught the sun. I remember this. He looked at me strange, like, why are you laughing, woman? Too much to go into. And besides, he just kept talking, so it was fine. Anyway.
Number 14.
That's certainly one way of looking at it.
Translation: that's certainly the wrong way of looking at it. I think this one translates just well. If you're talking to someone and typically there's certainly one way of looking at it, because most guys here, I think, will tell you, no, that's horrible, or they'll be more abrupt. And the ladies here will be a little bit more trying to work it through and say something like, that's certainly one way of looking at it, meaning, you fucktard, what in the world are you doing?
Oh dear.
I don't understand this one at all. So you're going to have to go ahead and say the whole thing.
Oh, well, I'm not quite. I mean, I think this might be situation dependent. So saying I have 5p if it helps. And
so I'm assuming that's 5 pence?
Yes, 5 pence. So what you call that? A dime? Or is it half a dime?
I don't know. What's it worth?
5p. It's about 5 cents.
1/20th or 1/10?
Of
a pound.
1/20th.
Yeah, it's a nickel.
A nickel, okay. Which is half a dime, right?
Yes.
Okay. And never be, oh my God. Okay, it's another one. We'll never get through this. And never being quite sure if it helps. Like, I don't know. Oh, this is like if you're trying to feed a meter or a chocolate machine. And it's like, oh, well, I've got such and such, if that helps.
You have a chocolate machine.
Well, last time I was in England. No, maybe not the last time. What my memories of England are that, we had chocolate machines. We put coins in. Huh?
So a candy, like a vending machine.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I had this strange thing when you just called it a chocolate machine that, insert this, it makes chocolate and, it's a vending machine for candy.
Yes. Now, by candy, do you mean chocolate?
Well, it can be any candy. It could be Snickers. It could be Lifesavers. It could be any type of candy. It's just a vending machine.
So sweets is what we call it.
Well,
okay.
Sweets to me, it's kind of interesting as we go off, but sweets to me are going to be more of a bread thing, not candy,
Like donuts.
Yeah. Donuts would be sweets or, man, now I'm trying to rack my brain at doing completely dark, but so you got cakes, pies.
Okay, so we'd call those desserts.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't call them a dessert unless it was related to supper.
Right. So, yes. Yeah.
But yeah, if you're in the middle of the afternoon, we would typically, at least, would you like a snack? And it could mean cake and pie and everything else.
Okay.
But yeah.
Huh.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, but I don't think we have. I mean, we have high tea, but no one calls it high tea.
Okay. Yeah.
And no one. Do we have to talk about?
Yeah, slight detour. So I gave you shit one time about tea, and you're like, everybody doesn't drink tea. I'm like, the hell you say? You guys have a time called tea time.
Yeah.
What does that mean if you don't drink tea? It's time to sit on your bum.
No. No. So tea time. Not everyone abides by tea time. I'm actually
the rebels.
Pardon?
The rebels.
Well, yeah, and I don't know. I'm a little bit out of these things with because time just doesn't really exist. But no, I think I noticed when I was in organizations, people that did some kind of work or an office job, they would have a break in the morning and a break in the afternoon. So their break in the afternoon was normally their tea time break or whatever. But I don't know if they called it. Maybe they called it a tea break.
Mm-hmm. Just meaning the afternoon break.
Yeah.
We would typically call that the break in the afternoon that we worked through.
Okay, right. Yeah, so that's a little bit more like me. But just speaking of candy, check this out.
Are we allowed to chocolate sleep? How do you freaking get sleep? What supplement?
Yes.
It looks like Thomas the Tank Engine.
Well, yes, that's what caught my eye in Whole Foods yesterday. But then it said sleep underneath it, and it's got 1 milligram of melatonin per piece. So I'm like, oh, dude, does this work? I'm talking to the cashier. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, my friend used them and he said they totally work. So I'm going to try them too. I'm like, okay, let me try it. Turns out last night, slept like a baby.
Which is to say you woke up at 7, 8, 9, 12, 2 o'clock in the morning with colic.
Oh, right. No. It meant that I actually went to sleep at a normal hour as opposed to it being 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, then go ahead. Put it back up. And for those that can't see it, it's Good Day chocolate with something that's a blue box. It's actually tall and very narrow, sleep supplement. So it's got 8 pieces.
And it tastes good. It's difficult to just take one piece. So I had two, so maybe that was why I slept so.
Next thing I know, shit, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're waking up. It was a good night.
You're like, were you eating too much of that candy?
Yeah. She's overloaded herself with sleep candy.
Yeah, but no, this shit works. They have it for energy, which I think has got caffeine in it. So, oops, sorry, Mikey. So I probably won't be trying those. But no, you can get them on what?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go see. I'm going to try both of them. because I could definitely do
Well,
it.
I've also got calm as well. And I read one of the Amazon reviews and someone said something about having some before they went to the dentist and they were totally fine at the dentist. So I think like, okay, when I have stressful things coming up, I might try some of those. Like the dentist.
Sounds like too good to be true. Almost like they're putting in the good stuff into the, and we need to grab like boxes of them before they get taken off the market.
Right. Well, you can buy them in big boxes. So yeah, I'm going to get in on that. That's on my task, like after I finish my calls today. So.
Oh, okay. So number 16, I love. It's very similar to number 14.
Have I ever said this to you?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay. If you say so.
Translation, I'm afraid that what you're saying is the height of idiocy.
But we're too polite to say that. We would never say that.
Yeah, but I really admire, there was one woman in a company I worked back in the 90s, and she had no disconnect between what she thought and what she said. And if she thought that it was the height of idiocy, she would flat tell you that is the height of idiocy.
Was she English?
No, not that I know of.
Oh.
No, it's just a certain personality type, because I tend to be very empathetic. So I would definitely try not to say that. And I would definitely say, if you say so, like, I don't think so, and I don't want to get into an argument about it. So, I'm good with it.
Yeah, you see, when you say it, it sounds a little bit more skeptical.
Yes, because I am.
Whereas, like, I think if you hear it in a British accent, it's kind of...
No, hold on. The British accent can make anything sound okay. You can probably walk into a room and go, I think I'm going to go and kill everyone here today. And everyone will be like, oh, cheerio, that's good. First with the American accent, and everyone's screaming for their lives.
Well, that's good then. Well, not about like people. Yeah, anyway. Okay. Oh, with all due respect.
Translation, you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Except the only places that I've ever heard that is on American films where they have like military people. With all due respect, sir. Or in the FBI. Like, I think Scully might have said it like a million times throughout the series, throughout the X-Files.
Well, I think you do. It is definitely an American thing to say that when whatever comes back basically means I don't believe a word that you just fucking said. With all due respect, you're an idiot. It's kind of the undertone that goes with it. At least that's my interpretation. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are like, no, that's not what I mean at all. It's with all due respect, here's a differing opinion. Uh-huh. Which isn't the one that you have.
Right.
Number 18.
Okay. Saying you're welcome as quietly as possible to people that don't say thank you, but you're using it as a form of punishing them.
Oh, we would do this in the South. Definitely. I think that in the South, there's a certain amount of things that are expected. And, so you open a door for a woman to walk through. Mm-hmm. And she ignores you, doesn't say even hi or anything like that. And it's like, well, you're welcome. Undercurrent.
That's so rude. Would someone do that?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I think there's actually I can't remember his name. It's a stand-up comedian. The name hopefully will come to me a little bit later, but he talks about it as well. Like, it's like, I open a door for a woman because that's what you do. That's what I'm taught. He goes, if a beautiful woman walks through and she doesn't say anything, I kind of get that. I'm not exactly the most handsome man. She might feel a little creeped out. I don't think it's proper, but at least I understand it. If someone who's not a beautiful woman, I'm not that, I'm not that appreciative of the fact that I just opened your door and you ignored me. So.
Oh, I'm a bit creeped out that it matters whether she's beautiful or not.
Well, Chris something. He goes, he doesn't agree with it. He just knows that he's not a very attractive guy. And, how many times?
Manners shouldn't be predicated on whether someone's good looking or not.
I didn't say they should. I am merely expressing Chris's conversation.
Okay, I think we need to get this Chris on the line.
I'm sure, Chris, if you happen to be listening to this podcast with all 5 of our people that will be listening to it, by all means.
And if you know which Chris you are.
Oh, I can figure it out. He actually is. I wish I could remember his last name at the moment because I would give him a shout out. He is so hilarious.
Oh, cool. Okay.
All right, number 19. Meanings of...
I beg your pardon.
Number 1?
I didn't hear you.
Number 2?
I apologize.
Number 3.
What you're saying is making me absolutely livid.
I think this is true in America as well.
Oh.
I think you definitely have to understand this. I beg your pardon. I didn't hear you. I apologize. What you're saying is like, just take one more step and I will take all 5 of my knuckles and punch them into your face.
Wow.
I'm really, really pissed off.
Wow.
So I completely agree. I think that translates across the sink. Do they call it the sink? What is the term for the Atlantic?
Pond? Pond?
Yeah, the pond. Yeah, we'll go with that. I think that's appropriate.
Okay.
Okay, number 20.
It could be worse.
Translation, it couldn't possibly be any worse.
21.
Well, this goes back to the other one. It's like, we're in a bit of a pickle. You know. Oh, so it could be worse. Translation, we're in a bit of a pickle.
Right. Yes, this is true.
Okay, I'm starting to understand these things.
Yeah, there's a rhythm to them, isn't there?
Yes. Number 21.
Each to their own.
Translation, you're wrong, but never mind.
I think our equivalent recently was whatever helps you sleep at night.
Yes. Yes, that was another word you used on me. Whatever helps you sleep at night. And then you didn't like it when I said it back to you.
Well, no, because you used it like 5 or 6 times in like a week or something, and you were using it out of context. So it was the lack of context and the blatant plagiarism that I had an issue with.
Blatant plagiarism. So if you hide your plagiarism, it's okay.
Yes. If you do it carefully and subtly, it's clever.
No need to be clever.
Especially when you're making a point. It's kind of like, so the response could be touche.
Yeah. Here we go.
Let's just move on. Number 22.
Number 22.
Pop round anytime.
Translation, please, for the love of God, stay away from my house.
I can't imagine anyone actually saying pop round anytime in this day and age now. I just couldn't imagine. Because what if someone did take it literally? Like, you just wouldn't, no one would risk that. Like, no, I don't believe this is, whoever put this together has got it from the old generation or something. I'm just popping out to lunch. Does anyone want anything?
Translation, I'm getting my own lunch now. All of you people, please remain silent.
Right. Does that mean the same in America?
Not necessarily. People who ask will generally, yes, some of them would be like, shit, they took me up on it. I was trying to get some brownie points and whatever, but there's definitely times where people are very helpful. Like, does anyone want me to grab you anything? So okay. Yeah, it's literal.
Okay. So if you take someone up on the offer, you're not being like a...
No, not all the time, but for some people it really is. They're just getting the brownie points for saying it, and when you take them up on it, they're kind of pissed.
Huh. Okay. All right. I'll just be careful. I think just avoiding people generally is ways to do this.
In which case, you don't need any of these things since you don't speak to anyone anyway.
Yes. This is my get out clause, right? But this is just in case I end up interacting with society.
Number 20. That was 23. So this is 24.
Okay. Saying I might get some cash out actually.
Despite approaching the cash machine and being 100% certain of getting cash.
This is real. We do this. We're like out in town and we're like, okay, I need to poke some cash. Let's find a cash machine. Okay, yeah, let me just go and get some cash. I might just need to go and get some. And it's like, you've been talking about it all morning. Like, if you see a cash machine, just let me. So
is the clarification that it might be rejected? I'm going to go, but it might not give me any because I'm broke.
No. It's more that, like, I might just go and do this now. Oh, I might just have a cup of tea. It's like, of course you're going to go and have a cup of tea. But, like, maybe anything could happen. But it's just our way of phrasing things to, like, kind of soften the direction. Kind of like leaving a phone call where you give someone a heads up that you're going to leave the phone call in about 5 minutes' time. Yes, I should probably be making a move shortly.
Oh, okay. Bye.
Yeah, right.
Okay, number 25.
No, honestly, my fault.
Translation, it was exceedingly your fault, and you both know it.
So funny. I can just see Giles saying this.
And Molly would be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, she looked completely, what just happened?
Exactly.
He said it was his fault.
Yeah, there's no translations. Joel would have to be explaining to him. He's like, no, Molly, what this really means. He's like, oh. And for those that don't know, she's talking about a series called The Extinction Myth, where it's set in the far future in space opera. But these characters have taken some things from the past, and they've watched them, and they've kept the mannerisms in some cases.
Right. Yeah. We should do one of these where we have like what Molly says, what she really means. What Joel says, what you really mean. Yeah.
What Molly says, we need to go 472,000 light years. What Molly means, we need to go 472,000 light years. What Joel is thinking, we're going to hop in the ship and go to the moon.
Right.
We're going to get pizza up there too.
Right. What Paige is thinking. What are they thinking? They don't have Pizza Hut up there.
Yeah, exactly. There's no makeup. Where's my makeup? What number was that? Oh, yes, that was 25. So this is 26.
Okay. No, yeah, that's very interesting.
You've done this to me.
You're going to talk about Louis XIV, ain't you? Go on.
Oh, God. Meaning you are boring me to death. So, yeah, so I've definitely heard this before. Holy crap. Yeah, no, you're talking about the other day when we were having that conversation.
Where I thought you were fascinated.
Well, okay, it's late at night. I'm traveling the next morning. I call you because I'm like, I can't text this in Slack to get this point across. We end up talking for a while. I'm trying to get off the phone because I'm thinking I need to go to sleep. Occasionally, I would end up conversing the next thing. But then, for whatever reason, we get on the fact that you acquire a Canadian history book.
No, it's American history, but it's here, actually.
Oh, goody. Here we go again. Oh, fantastic. So you were going through the fact that you got British history, American history, and then for whatever godforsaken reason. Oh, I remember something you were talking about. You start with like regurgitating the history book. And you have this memory, like able to, you coalesce or pull together a chapter's worth of information into like 3 minutes. And then you give me the second chapter. And
No.
And then, hold on, my story, hush. And then you happen to say, did you know that Louisiana is based on the name of King Louis XIV? And I'm like, no, like, that's fascinating. After 12 minutes of this stuff, and you take it like, please tell me the next 4 chapters. And I can't get a word in edgewise. I can't even go, stop. I'm trying to be British here and politely explain, stop. Canadian history is right underneath my desire to learn more about American history, which is not high on my thing at midnight.
In my defense, firstly, it wasn't quite as linear as the chapters. I jumped around based on where the flow of the conversation was going.
There was a conversation.
You're saying that there wasn't. Okay.
There was one-sided conversation.
Secondly, you actually sounded quite excited when I told you about Louis XIV.
Yeah, because I finally got something in there. It's like, oh, wow, that was actually you.
Thirdly, you're bitching about like 10 minutes worth of the conversation. It was a 2-hour conversation.
It was an hour and 50 minutes.
50.
That's what I said, 50.
Okay. So like that's practically 2 hours.
That was probably 30 minutes of the 50 hours.
No way was it. I don't know 30 minutes worth of information. Like it was 10 minutes out of 2 hours, and like and then after that you stayed on another hour. Yes, you did. It was at least an hour after that. And so all that is saying is that you didn't want to know about American history because that bit was boring, whereas you were quite happy to just be chatting. I didn't care. I didn't have a flight the next day.
Clarke, are you done yet?
Yes, Andrew.
Excellent. And this is how it went on, folks. It never stopped. She, by the way, can speak 2 hours without taking breath. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, come on. Shut up. No, when you get going, I can't get a word in edgeways. I don't complain, because I'm perfectly entertained.
Perfect. Oh, there's one of the, hold on, let me go back to, I'm perfectly entertained. One of those is in here.
Is it really?
Yeah, just like,
You're gonna start.
Just like number 26.
Oh yeah, that's very interesting. We've done that one.
You are boring me to death.
No. I'm genuinely entertained. Like, I wouldn't be talking to you for so long if I didn't find you amusing.
Yet not another word, amusing. Oh, here we go. Okay. 27.
Just whenever you get a minute.
Translation, now.
Okay, no, I have to qualify this one, because when I say this, it certainly means whenever you get a minute. Because, like, I'm conscious that people feel obligated. Well, maybe it's an English thing that people tend to feel obligated to get it done right then and there. Mm-hmm. I know with my teams as well, who have spanned English and Canadian mostly, actually, there's a pattern. They feel like, oh my God, I need to do this right now, and I have to redo everything else that reschedule everything else that I have planned. It's like, no, we're chill. It's all cool. Like, do it whenever you can fit it into the workload. It's okay.
I think
okay.
Well, I was just going to say, I think this is also a very American thing. If the boss or your parents just say, just whenever you get a minute, it means now.
Oh, right. Okay.
And now means you're late. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I need to be aware of that. Oh, we're nearly there. 28th. No, 28th. 28. No harm done.
Translation, you have caused complete and utter chaos.
It's true.
I believe this could go both ways, because if I'm talking to someone and they have screwed up and I don't, it's something that we can get out of. It's something we can fix. It's really not a big deal. No harm done means no harm done. Mm-hmm. However, I've definitely seen where no harm done means you have caused complete and utter chaos. Please get the hell out of this building so we can fix this, and you can't possibly cause us more problems.
Oh, wow.
So it can mean both.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, there's an ambiguity there. An ambiguity that you wouldn't expect from logical people like computer programmers.
Who try to work with the rest of society. They're so logical. Especially physicists.
So they do. What?
Especially British physicists.
What have you got against British physicists, Michael Anderley?
No harm done. Hold on, I'm sure I'll get one of these here. Anyway, so we go on. 29.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Translation, I fully expect the situation to deteriorate rapidly. I like this one.
I'm just racking my brain to think, like, have I actually said this at some point?
I'm sure it'll be fine. I think, in our conversations, I could imagine that it came up because we've definitely had situations where we've messed up the book or the book release or the paragraph or,
the cover.
The
cover number.
Okay, that was me gently trying. No, okay, hold on a second. That never went out. That was not published with that number. It was just merely, you were like, hey, Minion, would you go ahead and bring the cover over here? So I'm like, well, fine, here you go, poof. Not realizing that we had an old cover that had to be, that wasn't deleted. It wasn't the final cover. So it got caught whenever we were going through the process, so it never went up to the book.
Okay.
You asked for a snippet or something, and we're like, Minion, would you put a snippet with the cover up? And I grabbed the wrong cover. And I have yet to hear the end of that one.
Just for the record, I don't call him Minion. And secondly, I'm sure it was all fine.
which is, I fully expect. Okay, number 30.
Sorry, I think you might have dropped something.
Meaning you have definitely dropped that specific item, and this is definitely translates across.
Oh, really? You say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we'd go up and say, excuse me, ma'am, you might, well, actually, we'd probably go, excuse me, ma'am, you dropped something.
Uh-huh.
We're not going to make it easy on them. It's like, no, you did. It's right there.
Oh, are you one of these people that does it with rubbish? Like when you see litter bags and you put it back in their pocket. Oh, look, you dropped this sweet wrapper. Here you go. Like, let me help you here. You have, haven't
not.
you? You
No.
have.
No, probably not. I'd be pissed because I'm really not fond of people who are lazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And it's like, come on, dude. Pick up your freaking trash. This isn't, your house. So I'd be upset, but I don't know that I would sit there and go, hey, man, come on, dude. Don't litter.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all 30. We got through all 30. Only took, an hour.
An hour and 10 minutes or whatever.
So we were able to get through it. That is excellent.
Cool. Right. So depending on how people respond to this, so like if this is funny to more than just us, we have been talking for several months about doing, should we talk about this now?
No, that's fine.
Yeah, the podcast. So something came, I don't know how it came about the first time, but it's
you thought it was funny and you thought that maybe we should actually read our author notes.
Oh, that was more recently. Yeah. So maybe we'd do our author notes on it, but we're going to do the author notes for the audios. So, yes, but we can do other stuff for the podcast because we have no end of hilarious things that happen. So,
issues between British. So yes.
Well, it's more like issues between Michael and Elle, but let's not bring a war into this.
Clarifications.
It's not a matter of foreign policy here.
It should be. And you get two individuals who don't think alike.
Yeah. So yeah, we can do that. But if you guys have to let us know whether it would be entertaining for you to listen to it.
So yeah. So is that your pitch? I mean, come on. That's your pitch to the fans? Hey, fans, if you found this funny, let us know.
There will be minions.
What did the person say? Yodama. What was it? Yodama Magic Mike or some noise? I'm like, oh, Lord. Help me, please. Yes, goodbye, Mikey. Yes, all right.
He's so cute and snuggling. No, well, sorry, you're not going to do a pitch, a better pitch.
Oh, what? Now I'm the one with the poor pitch. I thought my pitch was better than your pitch. You try again.
Go on then. What pitch?
No, I already pitched. You ignored me.
Sorry. Okay, so I ignored you. Can you do it again, please?
No, you go.
I was distracted.
I don't care. What you and the doll are doing is completely okay. I'm okay with that. Be in the closet with your doll. Be out of the closet with your doll. I don't care. But I complained and I tried a second pitch. Now you're get a second pitch and then I'll do a second pitch. Oh,
well, I don't know what I did wrong in the first time. It was basically just, if you want more of this, let us know.
Yeah.
Just think, if this is just that bad, Michael, we'll never have to do it again, and you will be spared the trauma.
Hopefully, only our fans will ever see this, and the rest of society won't. So anyway, y'all have a good time. This is Michael Anderle, the author of the Pythagorean Gambit series and collaborator with Leigh Clarke, who is the author of... Yes?
Oh, the Ascension Myth.
Yes.
What did I write? What do you call it? Oh, no, but Michael calls it the Ascension Myth. So...
What was the difference between those two words?
Ascension versus accension. No.
Yeah, that's just your hearing.
No, it's not. You pronounce it differently.
It's
like these kids. Hearing. No, it's like there are kids in the UK and like it's a subculture, right? And they go, "Can I ask you a question?" And you're like, "Yes, but you have to ask me a question, not ask me a question."
You.
What?
No, I won't say that. Wow. All right. We will talk later. Hopefully the fans enjoyed this as we try to do this. Just basically for you, the fans, that we got together. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope that a little bit of the behind the scenes. You guys have a good time. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, God.